Thank you, Sister, and welcome. Would you like to please say your full name, your congregation, and where you're working and ministering?
My name is Sr Francisca Khooa. I come from the Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary. I'm a member of the congregation. I'm currently living in Lesotho. That's where I was born, and that's where I'm doing my ministry as a nurse midwife.
Fantastic. Now, during the 2019 Interculturality Workshop here at the Unions of Superiors General in Rome, what's one important insight you've learnt on interculturality?
One important thing that I learned during this 2019 Intercultural Workshop for Sisters at the International Union of Generals Superior, I have learned that I have been thinking that I know the concept of interculturality, and I have just realized that I didn't have that much information. I wasn't educated in that concept at all. I have been misusing the word, and I'm very grateful that I have this broader knowledge now that I really think that it's going to be helpful for my ministry, both locally in Lesotho as well as internationally in terms of my congregation, which is from other countries.
Okay, so let's first start with your congregation in Lesotho. What would you recommend as one thing you want to implement on interculturality in Lesotho with your sister community?
I think the same situation that I was in, which is lack of knowledge of what interculturality really means, most of the sisters are in that position. So the first step, I think, is to educate ourselves, to learn about this interculturality and see how far we are in terms of living this interculturality and how we have been trying to do in the past and try to connect with the present, and how we can work together interculturally in order to move our mission towards the future. Not only our congregation, but along with other congregations that are found in Lesotho. So what I believe will work is to conduct workshops both in my congregation, and we have actually talked with some of the sisters who are attending the same workshop that we might connect. They are sisters from South Africa. Others are not South Africans. They are from neighboring countries like Zambia. So we are seeing ways that can bring us together and conduct workshops, both interculturally and intercongregationally. So we think that it might help, spread the knowledge, educate ourselves and our fellow sisters at home more on this concept.
And in terms of worldwide for your congregation, would you see that you would implement anything different, or you would just expand what you would be doing more on a local level, or would there be any other recommendations you would give to your congregational leader?
Let me say that I'm not the only one from my congregation who is attending this workshop. There are 4 of us. One is from Peru, one is from United States, and one is from Canada. And we have actually discussed during the course of this 2 weeks, and we have introspect. We discovered that we have this interculturality concept. We were aware of it. We even, talked about it at our general chapter. For example, we mentioned that we might, establish a common formation house for our sisters, but there were really no concrete steps as to how this might work. So we thought that, yes, this is the best tool, the knowledge, the education that we received from this workshop is the best tool that will help us to implement that General Chapter Act. One challenge that we have found existing in our congregation is that of not, knowing each other's language. Let me say, basically, we are not exclusively a missionary congregation. You find that in our case, you will find people living cross-culturally, according to what I have learned. Maybe one person from United States living in Lesotho, or one person from Lesotho living for a certain amount of time in Brazil, or Peru. So, we haven't done that much, and we thought that, those basic steps in terms of communication, language, using all the 4 languages during our conferences, our general chapters would be the first step towards, living out this interculturality, which is so important for our mission.
And then moving on to that, from that, what would be one of the most beneficial aspects of attending this workshop at the International Unions of Superiors General here in Rome? What would be the most beneficial aspect of this workshop to you?
Let me say, personally, I'm transformed. This was just 2 weeks, but I think that I have grown so much that I have developed this ability to listen, to be open to other people, to remove my prejudices, to learn more about other people's cultures, and to recognize my own limitations if I were to live interculturally. That is, I'm even feeling like I need to commit myself to learning, another language, 2 or 1 or 2 more languages on top of Sesotho, which is my native language, and English, which is my second language. So I feel that I need to stretch more. I feel that I'm transformed, and, during the interactions with other sisters, I gain so much, knowledge, and I admire whatever the ministries that they are doing through our personal interactions, through the sharing and through the workshop, during when the speakers are, trying to give us, information about all these concepts, and I have grown in one word.
That's fantastic. In terms of your own personal faith, how do you think this has enriched you in terms of your faith and your ministry and your spirituality?
I have realized that the mission is not only that which I think I perceive as being, but the mission is what together we can achieve in making the world a better place. So I have been drawn towards reflecting more on who I am in order to identify myself and my own culture. And I think I need to pray more, to ask for the Holy Spirit to come and enlighten me more and be able to understand others. I really think that I need to open myself more.
And one final question. Are there any gaps in your knowledge that you want to learn in the future at another workshop or another event? Is there anything else you may want to expand on in the future?
Definitely. As we were attending this workshop, there was one time when I really thought that in my situation, both personal and national, I wonder I really want to find more how the mission might be influenced by the culture, because as I was reflecting during the time of the workshop, I found out that there might be some ways that me and my other, fellow sisters, we have been interpreting mission, but that actually wouldn't be the mission in itself, but would be part of the culture. So much so that the mission has been covered. We are not able to differentiate the mission, from culture, especially when you come from a monoculture, like in my situation. We are only Basotho. There are not more sisters from other cultures in my congregation, for sisters who are living in Lesotho and are ministering there. So I believe that to some extent we have overshadowed the mission by our culture. We've been confusing culture with mission, and I would like to be able to separate those and see how they can influence each other. And secondly, as we were interacting with each other, trying to exchange ideas, there was one time when I thought, could it be possible to relate intercongregational collaboration with intercultural living in order to attain one goal as one? Is it possible to come together as congregations and try to live out interculturality, not only as one congregation, but as different congregations coming together for one common, mission? So that is my question.
That's very good. Thank you, sister. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.